Okay everyone, today we're going to talk about some RC tools. Now these are going to be tools that are applicable for RC cars, RC airplanes, and also RC quadcopters. These are things that I've found super useful for my everyday use in the studio, out of the field. So let's just get right into it. Now, one of the things that you first need when you first get into RC of any type is you need a nice set of hex drivers. I can show you guys these ones right here. This is the other half of the set that I originally bought. Now these were actually quite expensive back in the day. These were probably around $30 and it came with 6. These are the Imperial ones and not the metric ones, so I have these ones left over. But I gave away my other set because I ended up getting 2 sets of new drivers from Banggood. 2 sets because they accidentally sent me 1 extra set by accident, so I'll go over that in just a second. Let me go ahead and put these aside. These were the ones that are made by Dynamite, and like I said, they were quite expensive. They lasted quite a long time. They're high quality, but you can get a much better deal out there for a fraction of the cost. Now there's a few sets of hex drivers, the standard ones that we use for quadcopters and airplanes on Banggood, and this is one of the sets here, and these have a hollow handle to them, which really makes them nice and easy to handle. They're actually very, very lightweight. I would say 3 of these would be about the same weight as the other one that I just held up there. So these come in a 1.5, 2.0, 2.5, and a 3mm hex size, and it really is nice because it has these marked ends on it, because how many times are you always looking at the hex wrenches and wondering what size they are. The only problem with these is that they're only held in with a an O-ring here, so sometimes those pop off, but yeah, I guess, you know, to each his own. It's nice to have it there, and it does slightly spin, so when you are driving something it can spin in your palm here, which is always a nice feature. Now these, believe it or not, were only like $10 or $13, something like that, and like I said, I got sent 2 sets of them, and so I gave away the other set. Banggood accidentally sent me a different set of these that were in black with solid handles that looked like these. They accidentally sent me the drivers, the hex bits instead of the drivers here. So let me put these aside. I'll have a link down in the description below for this as well. Now every RC person needs to have a good set of nut drivers, and there's only a few that the RC world uses here. We use the 7mm for the RC drift, and we also use the smaller one here, which is the 5.5 as well. This kit comes with the 8, the 5.5, and the 4, and of course the 7. These are the most standard sizes used in RC, and you can use these for quadcopters and airplanes as well, anytime there's a nut on an airplane. And let me see, can we do this on the quadcopter nut here? I think we can. Yes, so this is one that, this 8 size would be the one I would use on your quadcopters as well. These, again, can be much more expensive stateside, but when you get them from Banggood, they're much less expensive, so I'll have this link down below as well. This is a precision screwdriver set. I just featured this on one of my other videos I just posted about the electronic screwdrivers. Now this product alone is actually quite nice because it has so many different micro bits and bits that go up to the sizes that we use in RC as well. Not only that, it has a couple of different handles here. This handle here is really nicely made. You just slide the bits right in the top here, and it's and you're able to use this as a precision screwdriver. Again, it has a rotating palm rest here, so that as you're screwing, it doesn't tear into your palm. This is another really cool thing. This is a angle driver, so you can actually hold it like this and turn something as you're kind of coming around the corner in a hard to reach spot. I thought that was really cool. This kit is anywhere between $9 and $13, so check that out on Amazon and Banggood. I'll show a link for both, but really easy to use. You just press this button right here and all the bits come up for you. if I can get it to do it. Alright, so all the bits pop up like this. Let's give you a quick close-up of all the different bits here. We have square bits, we have triangle bits, and this little prongy thing here. And these have some of the bits that I have taken out, which are some of the screwdriver bits. Over here are some flatheads. These are all the hex bits. These are some of the larger ones. We have some more hex bits here. some Torx bits, and also two rows of Torx bits as well, going all the way down to the smallest. So let's say if you're doing some iPhone repair, this is something you'd be wanting. Also, any type of electronics repair is pretty cool. You can actually adapt in some larger bits with all these different adapters on the side here. Really cool kit, super inexpensive and really high quality. I highly recommend this one. Now, a lot of you guys will recognize these this set of screwdrivers. It comes with 3 sizes of Phillips and 3 sizes of flathead screwdrivers. I'm missing one of them at the moment. I think my son took it, but you'll recognize these from Harbor Freight. So these are super inexpensive and they work really well. They're so inexpensive that if you wore this out in 2 or 3 years, you could just go get another set and they would be just fine. But I found these really helpful. And it also has the pivoting palm grip as well. Grippy and just the right size for the screws that you guys need. These are the Only You Precision tweezers, and I just used these on my build in the car that's right behind us because I had to put in some spacers in a very tight junction. Now, these are amazing. If you guys don't have a set of precision tweezers, it's really a handy thing to have in RC. Imagine just grabbing some things from the servo wires coming through a hole, something like that. We have an angled one here and all different types of sizes of precision tweezers. I really love these, and I finally got these. They were very inexpensive from Banggood. I'll put in a link for these as well. This is what the package looks like, and it shows all the different sizes that you get in the kit. These all came as a bundle, so it's all just one price for all of them, so it's great to have these things. This is a machined aluminum parts tray from Relac. It has magnetized bases here so things don't roll around. You can see that the things are staying in place there, those little metal screws. I use this for quadcopter builds and drift car builds and airplanes, of course. This is good for all 3. It's a nice, handy, compact size. It's not too big. It's not going to take up too much space on your table, so take a look at this, guys. It's a really great tool. Alright guys, this is the Danu precision wire cutter. Cutting the large gauge wires with this is such a cinch, and also stripping the ends of the wires is really nice with this. I just got 3 of these on special. They were actually $3 a piece from Banggood, so if you guys can find these on special, definitely grab a couple of them for you and your friends. Alright guys, I'm going to tell you about this product right here, which is just your standard Loctite, and this is Threadlocker. You can get this in blue or red. I find that this red is not as permanent as the standard red that you would get in the liquid form, but a lot of people don't know that they have Loctite in the automotive stores as a chapstick version. So it's really nice to just take the ends of the screw, just dip the very tip of it in here, and just roll the Loctite around on the threads, and it's not dripping everywhere. This is one of the best products that I've had for RC for using Threadlocker. Check this out at your local hardware store, or I suppose you could find it online as well. But I had a stick of blue and somebody accidentally took it, so I've been stuck with the red for a couple of years. I've never had problems taking out the screws, so it's been really nice. Also, guys, if you're into the RC world and you don't have a servo tester, you don't know what you're missing out on. I just put together this car right here last night, and I used this servo tester to find the center. So I didn't have to dig out my receiver and my radio to get the servo into the center position. I also made sure that I ran the servo for a few minutes just back and forth on the auto function here. Especially for airplanes. When you have an airplane, you can plug in as many as 4 servos into here, and you can put this to auto and allow the servos to just go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. That way you know you've tested them for at least, let's say, 20 minutes and make sure that they're not going to fail on you immediately. So I have had airplanes where you throw it for the first time and the servo fails on you. So it's a good way of running your servos to test them out either on the plane or off the plane, and also for your steering servos on your cars. Okay guys, just a few items left here to go. I'm just going to run through these fairly quickly. I love soldering and I love my flux pens, so these are really nice. You can kind of hear the flux in the inside there. Now the tips on this can get a little bit dry after a while, but you do have to push them in to get them restarted again. But when they are restarted, it works really great. Makes your soldering really easy and nice to have a nice solder joint going on. Now getting into the drift scene here, having a precision caliper is really important. Now this one I wouldn't recommend. This is made by the same company that made the wire stripper or the wire cutter I just showed you a second ago. This is Danu, and this is a nice one. It has really good measurements, but the plastic pieces here are just a little too cheap. And look, this it slides way too easily, and there's no thumb screw to hold things down. So I would definitely recommend a slightly higher quality one. This one was only like $4, so I guess that's what I should expect for buying this one. But I will be buying a more expensive one in the future because we use this quite a bit for the RC drifting to make sure that all of our linkages from right to left are exactly right. And of course you can use this for airplanes as well. Okay guys, I just have two more products for you. This one is pretty crazy looking, but this I use for grabbing servo cables that are way down inside of a fuselage. I think this is about a foot long or so. It's quite long, but yeah, this is just one of those things that's really cheap from Harbor Freight. But you can imagine, let's say you're retrofitting an airplane with some new servos and you got to reach way down into the fuselage, grab that servo cable and pull it out. Not something you use really often, but very helpful for when you do need it. Okay guys, I've featured this product on a past video and it's been super helpful. It's a soldering tool. You can just put your plugs in here and it helps to hold it in place as you're soldering it. It's got some weight to it. You can also clamp this into a vise if it's moving around too much for you. Has a spot here, down here for bullet connectors. Holds your bullet connectors in place while you're soldering them. XT60s both sides, XT90 both sides, obviously T-plugs and mini T-plugs. It has a little vise here. You can tighten or loosen these. You can put some on one side or the other. So really a helpful tool. Anytime I'm soldering plugs or wires, I always use this product. I didn't think I was going to use it as much as I did. I kind of chucked it off to the side. But once I started using this, it was a really invaluable tool for soldering. Hey guys, it's Jeff from the future, and I almost forgot this product here. This product is called the Dirt Tracks car stand, and I use this all the time for my quadcopters. As I'm building, I'll put on my props or do whatever to each side. I'm soldering. A lot of people have actually asked me about this, so let me just show you what this is. So for cars, it puts your car body here. You can kind of spin it around as you're working on it. It has a little spot for your shocks as you're building shocks. You can put those there. Has a couple little compartments on the bottom here, so as you're working on your car, you can put your parts there. And the whole thing folds down too, so you just take out this large piece here, you just plop that in, and there's a couple of holes here that you line up. This is a very inexpensive upgrade to working on your car or your quadcopter. It works for both, so if you guys have been into RC for a while, you probably have seen these, but this is nice to put it inside your bag. I take this to the track all the time, so that's just one little added thing I wanted to add in there. If you guys haven't checked out my videos on the 2 electronic screwdrivers that I just put up on my channel, check those out. They are made for lighter duty use, like on quadcopters, so you can build several quadcopters with these before you have to recharge them or replace the batteries, which are pretty cool. So check that out on my channel as well. Anyway guys, I hope this video helped you guys out, some of the insight into some of the tools I use in here in my office and out at the field. I endorse all these products highly, except for that one caliper, and I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks so much for joining my channel. Bye.